Hi, and welcome to a new episode of IMO. We have a new host with us, Alicia Cutting-Cosby. We're very excited to see you.
Yay!
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, sure. I'm actually a native of Western Massachusetts, grew up in Longmeadow, lived in Springfield for years, part of the school system, actually, for a little over 10 years. Wife of one, mother of four. And
wow.
I've always, right, seriously? Huh?
God bless you.
Yes, actually. Pretty active in the community, I've always tried to be, and also I'm on radio, 106.3 Smooth FM, and I'm so glad to be here. I like you guys, you're really cool people.
You don't know us that well yet.
But I do already. So, thank you.
Isn't it great that you clarified she's the wife of one? As opposed to like the wife of four and the mother of one?
Yeah, another segment in the future. Look at me.
Actually, yeah.
I like that. That's a good topic.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you.
So since you are the mother of four, maybe we should start with back to school. You're probably an expert on back to school, right?
How old are your four?
Back to school, 18, 16, 14, and 12.
Wow.
Okay.
God bless you.
No, right?
So, you know, I think it's interesting that the different school districts in Connecticut and Massachusetts, all the kids go back to school at different times. Like the town next to you, they can be going back to school 3 days later.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why that is? Or
I have not. My son started school 2 weeks ago. And
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, and a lot of kids started yesterday.
You're a lucky parent.
And then I noticed driving up here that in the Agawam area, they don't start school, I think, till after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's odd. But they also get off. Like at the end of the school year, it's kind of staggered how everybody gets off of school too. So I don't know why.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I think it used to be that most schools started, when we were kids, it seemed like after Labor Day.
After Labor Day.
But now I think Labor Day ends up falling a little bit later, so some schools are going back earlier to try to not keep them, you know, in school as late in the summer. Is kind of the, I don't know.
You know what? I wonder too if it had a lot to do with all the storms.
Winter.
Remember? Yeah, that we had. I wonder if that had something to do. I don't know, but I'm
I thought
guessing
so.
maybe. Yeah,
I
might have
thought
had
that,
something
you
to do
know,
with it.
well, after we had the make-up days, are we going to make it to days? Are we not going to make it to days chaos? It was like, you know, start them earlier, then just in case we
Put
had
them to
days
school
that
all year.
Right, right.
I just
What?
put them to school all year.
oh, you like the all year round school?
Yeah, we are dumb compared to the rest of the world. We need to go to school more.
I think, not to go off on a whole segment we didn't plan for.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I think that parents need to also teach their children.
Really do.
You know what I mean? I think what happens is when school is out in the summer, kids aren't learning anything. They're sitting in front of the TV or playing their video games all summer. So when they get back to school, they're like brain dead and they couldn't remember anything. I think it's important during the summer to, you know, keep your child's brain stimulated and teach them some stuff on your own. The teacher doesn't have to be the only teacher. As parents, we have to be teachers.
We have Bill Fiore on today, so he'll talk from Springfield Parent Academy. So I think that'll fit in perfect with that kind of concept of how parents can
Right.
teach, because yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's easier to put your kids in front of, I don't have children, but I imagine it's easier to put your kids in the basement tied up with duct tape. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally No, put them in front of the television. You know, as a parent, you're so, you've got a million things going on. So plop them down, throw in the, you know.
But even with that, you know, we always, if you're going to watch television, it's just as easy to kind of like let your kids kind of grow up thinking that History Channel is cool, or like PBS has so many offerings, from learning other languages to, there's this one cute show, I don't remember the name of it, but like all of the things are actually letters.
Oh, yeah.
You know what show I'm talking about? It's a cartoony kind of show. and
So you don't
everything's like
recommend Jersey Shore?
I'm thinking no, unless you
Or,
want to.
you know, another option though is we don't even have a TV. And so my kids grow up, they're very busy. I mean, they're 4 and 2,
so
but
you
they're
read and you play
busy
games
doing
and you
stuff.
Don't you worry though that your kids are going to be like the weird kids? Like,
Do you know me? I am so hip, and my husband is so hip. No, but like my kids are not going to grow up weird, America.
okay, when your
So-
kids go to school, I'm asking this question, when your kids go to school, don't you fear that they'll be like, you know, so did you see whatever last
No.
night? And then your kids will be like, we don't have a TV.
No,
I think
because
that's
I
about
didn't grow up.
raising
I didn't grow up with a
independent
TV,
children.
and my daughter now has seen like 4 Broadway musicals at 4 years old, and she's got plenty of things to talk about. And when I travel for my gigs, they watch TV in the hotel, so I feel like they get caught up there. Like she knows PBS Kids, and she knows stuff. It's like a treat. TV becomes a treat, which is how I grew up. Yeah, it's not something. Yeah, like you shouldn't be having dessert every day, gorging on dessert. You know, that's a problem there. All right, well, some people might have
Everything is
dessert every day. I saw Jill's face. So, you know, I think I like what you're saying
My
about.
poor mom is in heaven going, I'm sorry, I screwed you up.
But you know what you were saying about kids growing up watching History Channel thinking that's cool. That's just as cool as them growing up watching Jersey Shore. It's really about, like you said, what the parents do and how what the parents expose them to. That's what kids are going to think is cool.
And we have to raise independent children.
That's right.
You shouldn't raise your child based on, raise your child how you want. I'm just saying, like in general.
This is how you're going to raise your child, Jill.
You raise your child based on what everybody else is doing in school or what other kids are going to think. You want to raise them to be independent thinkers.
And plus, balance is really important.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and again, we might sit down literally and watch the VMAs and be like, literally have discussion.
Did you watch the VMAs?
I've seen some. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing straight through.
Did you see what Katy Perry had in her head? Sorry, total side.
Cheese looking thing.
Yeah, it was a big block of cheese.
Yeah. But it really is a jump off for like conversation to have dialogue with your children about values, clarifying your own what you feel is important and why that is or isn't.
Well, that's the thing. I think like we have to challenge our kids a little bit in terms of. I'm not a proponent for the, everybody on the team wins a trophy and every team is a winner. I feel like kids need to be taught that there's winners and there's people that don't win, and so they learn how to deal. Losers. But like, so my fiance Jen's nephew goes to school in Texas. He was just kicked off his second baseball team. The kid is 9 years old. I mean, how do you teach a kid about team and camaraderie if you're kicking them off? And Texas sports are crazy. I don't know if you guys have any family or friends down there.
I live there.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. I visited, I didn't get it. But I feel like, we're not teaching the kids the camaraderie. It doesn't mean that they get a trophy for being the worst team. You have to learn, you have to play well, and you have to strive to be better. But to me, it's like we baby our kids sometimes so much, like we coddle, and then bad things happen and they don't know how to necessarily
coping skills.
Yeah.
Which is what goes back to your independence thing, is that if you teach your kids to be independent and also to be self-sufficient, even though you're loving them and taking care of them, you also teach them some self-sufficiency, then they'll be able to handle when things come their way.
When
if we're
you're not
always,
there.
yeah, exactly. If we're always running to jump on them and fix everything,
Right.
they're not going to learn how to fix things themselves. So it's like you said, finding balance. And and especially your children at the age where, to me, it makes sense to watch the VMAs because you really can have a huge. Look at what she's wearing. Is that appropriate to be wearing?
Would you wear a block of cheese on your head to school?
Like,
Dana,
no.
you have a son?
Yes.
If I'm correct, and your son's already in school. What grade?
Yes, he's 13. He's in 8th grade.
So did they require you, what did they require you as a parent to bring for school supplies and stuff? Like back in our day, it was just like show up with your Trapper Keeper. Remember Trapper Keepers?
Yeah.
Dating.
No, he had a whole list of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so crazy how that has shifted to the parents now. You know what I mean?
Funding has been cut a lot all over the place. And so I think that the burden has shifted more on the parents.
Because we even had two full boxes of tissue to share with the class on our
Exactly.
list. Yeah.
And roll of paper towels.
Right. Yep.
What?
So,
A roll of
so a
paper
lot of that
towels.
does fall on the parents now.
Which is really hard, I think, for poor parents,
Well, that's
parents
what-
living
yeah.
in poverty. And actually, it's interesting because our guest on the next segment, Bill Fiore, is going to be talking about that. He works with parents in the Springfield School District, many of whom are struggling with poverty. And so we'll be right back to talk with Bill. Thanks.